Well, one of the key aspects of formative assessment is effective questioning, and that's led us to look at how children respond to teachers' questions, and that's brought about over several years the advent of talk partners. Now, once you have talk partners set up in the classroom, it is the children who do more of the talking than the teacher, so that every time a question is asked, the children are asked to discuss that, they have time to think, they have time to articulate their thinking, and it changes the entire ethos of the classroom.
We're going to see Helen's 5-year-old talk partners in action.
So the rattle has been lost, but it's fallen from the sky. Could you please, in one moment, turn to your partner? I wonder who has dropped the rattle and how is the postman feeling now he's had the rattle dropped on his head? Turn and discuss that with your partner for me. Turn back round to the front for me. And let's see. See whose name comes out. See if they could answer for us first of all. Everybody ready? Oh, Georgia. You're partnered with Sophie. Georgia, could you tell me what you and Sophie discussed?
I think it was the giant who threw the rattle.
You think the giant threw the rattle down from the sky, do you? Do you think it belonged to the giant? Did you and Sophie, did you think it was the giant's rattle?
Yeah, for the baby.
Oh, how do you know it might have belonged to the baby? Freya, could you just move across a little bit? Well done, so you can hear. Good girl.
Have rattles.
Oh, babies have rattles, do they?
Alice is finishing a week with her 6-year-olds by asking the children to self and peer assess themselves as talk partners before they change pairs.
Okay, I'd like you to swivel around, please, and we're going to look up here because we're going to be changing our talk partners. First of all, you're going to think about what you were like as the talk partner. Now, when we first started using talk partners, you told me that these things made a good talk partner, made you successful at being a talk partner. So you're going to think which one of these you think you were really good at doing. So we're going to read them through, and whilst I'm reading them, you need to be thinking about which one you were the best at. Tell your partner when they've had a good idea. Don't laugh at your partner's ideas. Share your ideas with your partner. Okay, just 30 seconds. Don't need to talk. It's about you at the moment. And I'm going to pick some names out and you to tell me what you think you were really good at. So which one of them do you think you were the best at doing? Okay. Lars. Where's Lars? What do you think you were really good at doing from those, Lars, with your talk partner? Who was your talk partner? Rachel, okay, Rachel. Lars, what do you think you were really good at doing? Looking at her. So when you were talking to Rachel, you made sure you looked at her, did you? Well done, good. So you're on your way to being a very successful talk partner. Let's have one more, Jonas.
I think I was good at working as a team.
Working as a team, so working with your talk partner, okay. Now, I would like you to think what your talk partner was good at doing. It might be that Cameron agrees with you, Thomas. Cameron might think you were good at talking about what you were supposed to be talking about. Or he might think you were good at something else. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds with your talk partner to talk about what did they do really well from here that made them a good talk partner. I'm going to pick a name out of the bag, and both of you, you and your talk partner, are going to tell me what your partner told you you were good at. Thomas and your partner. What did Abir say you were good at, Thomas? So, Abir, you thought Thomas was good at looking at you. Okay, Abir, what did Thomas say you were good at doing?
Sharing ideas.
Sharing ideas, okay. You're going to think about, what does your talk partner, when we move to a new talk partner, what do they need to work on? What do you think they need to put a bit more effort into to get to be even more of a successful talk partner? Tell your talk partner, and then I'm going to pick some names out in a minute. Millie and your talk partner, what are you going to work on, Millie, with the next person?
Nicest place to be Kenny.
Well, what did they tell you? What did Ellie and Rosina tell you you need to work on? What you need to try even more with the next talk partner? Looking at them. So did Millie sometimes struggle to look at you? So that's what you need to work on then, Millie. So with your next talk partner, you need to make sure you're looking at them, okay?
And telling us more ideas.
Okay, all right. That's what I think one's plenty, okay? Right, I want you to remember what you've been told you're really good at and what you've been told you need to try a bit harder with. And now we're going to change talk partners and you're going to tell them those 2 bits of information. So I'd like you to shake the hand of your old talk partner. Say goodbye, say thank you. And Sophie and Alicia Sky. Libby and Ellie. Thomas and Abir. Okay, Tanya, Kayla's not here today, so you can join in with Sophie and Alicia Sky until Kayla gets back, okay? Right, so now you're going to share with your new talk partner the one thing you were told you were really good at and the one thing you need to work on with them, okay? Off you go. Okay, turn and face this way then. You now know what your talk partner is really good at, Rachel, and what your talk partner is going to need to work at. Hopefully next week you will both be able to see that that thing they've told them you need to get better at has got better, okay? So Jonas told Maxwell he needs to work on saying when people have a good idea. So next week, Jonas, I'll be checking with Maxwell if you've told him he's had some good ideas, okay? So next week we need to try and have made those things that you need to put a little bit more work into be really fantastic.
With Natasha's 10-year-olds, changing partners is more formal. We then see the children with talk partners comparing their lists of connectives, then pairs joining to make fours. Snowballing is an effective technique for sharing thinking and comparing ideas.
Okay, I'm going to move you around the room. We're going to do our talk partners. So when I call your name out, I'd like you to go and sit on that table, but we're going to move all at the same time at the end when I've done everybody. So talk partners for this morning, Sophie and Govan, you'll sit on this table here at the back. Sydney and Fraser on the back table. Scott and Lauren on the back table. Now, this table. Rebecca and Max together today. Sophie's away, but her partner, when Sophie comes back, will be Edward. So Edward, for now, if you stay on that table, and maybe you can team up with Rebecca and Max today. Okay? And then when Sophie comes back, in the other lessons, you work with Sophie. Right, with your talk partner now, I'd like you to compare each other's yellow post-it note. So using your talk partners, explain to each other and see if you've got any that you may have missed out and think, oh yes, I remember that one now. And you may want to add that onto today's list. So just with your talk partner, please, for now.
Consequently, however, firstly, secondly,
Yeah, other side is fine.
Wait, I'm not done yet.
Can you put your hand up if your snowball partners actually helped you with words that you didn't get between you and your talk partner? That's really good. Very worthwhile.
It's given those children that didn't have a voice before a voice through the other children in the class, as they're able to discuss in those small pairs what they want to get across and help each other to then feed back to the rest of the class. And it's not necessarily then the child who's speaking's answer, it's the one that they have shared with the other child.
The biggest change I would say are that the children are now far more in control of their learning than what they were before. The children in their talk partners, because we change the talk partners quite regularly, the children get to talk with different children, which is always really useful. In the past, the children used to very much talk to the same partner, so they were basically talking about the same ideas, whereas now, although some children initially found it quite uncomfortable to talk to other children, they now are quite accepting, really, of working with different ideas. And I think that's beginning to challenge their thinking and also extend their thinking. For the higher achievers, it's been really valuable in terms of they've had to think about how to communicate their ideas to maybe other children who aren't working on the same level as them. But the lower achievers, that's also been valuable, obviously, because the higher achievers have been able to share their ideas, and it's sometimes given them more ideas to think about in their own writing.